back at you again. Me and Frank Poland, Russell and him, we have made a road trip today. We're way down here in beautiful South Bristol to interview the great Kenny Lincoln, very successful and very positive talking and thinking man. Are you ready for the first pitch, Ross?
I think so. It'll be a good one, I think.
Okay, Ken. Where were you born and where were you raised?
I was born at Miles Memorial Hospital, 1960, and spent most of my life right here in South Bristol. My early life, we moved around a lot, so my father could find work. So we lived in Phippsburg, Bath, Belfast when I was real young. But we pretty much settled in here from the time I was 4 or 5 years old. And other than a couple of winters in Florida, this has been my home. I've been in this house almost 40 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you like school? Did you engage in any hobbies?
I did like school. Grade school, I mean, even probably 3rd or 4th grade, we had moved to Bath so my father could work at the ironworks. So I went to school in Bath for a year or two, and I liked it. I mean, it didn't bother me. I played on the sports teams. You know, you remember the basketball games and South Bristol's great big gymnasium we had at that time.
Playing in a cracker box.
Playing in a cracker box. And we just, growing up in South Bristol, we got out of school and we would gather down on Kid Hill. All the kids lived down on just for the island. You know, Kid Hill, the Plumbers, the Kelseys, just Gamages. Of course, I'm related to the Farrens. My mother was a Farren, so I was related to better than half the town.
Well, we could be related, Ken, because my great-grandmother was a Farren.
Was she?
Down here in South Bristol.
Was she really?
Yeah.
Well, Cousin Frank.
Now,
Yeah.
many years later. What's your favorite part of South Bristol? This is beautiful down here.
I kind of take for granted the beauty of the town because most of my work is generally on the shore. I build houses for a living.
Yeah.
And I kind of forget just how beautiful it really is being on it all the time. But to me, one of the best things about South Bristol, especially in the past, is the way of life. It's a very calm, slow, too slow for a lot of people. But I like the easygoing, slow pace. People aren't all rushed up. And to me, that's the best part of this community.
Yeah, you feel that when you come down here. My favorite part of South Bristol, I kind of favor Clark's Cove.
Yeah.
Because it's like it's never been messed with down there.
It's almost like going back.
Yes.
You could almost see a steamship pulling in to unload people.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. South Bristol has, really 3 parts. We have Christmas Cove.
Yeah.
And then we have downtown, and I'm just out of town a couple miles. And then you've got the Walpole section.
Yeah.
So it's a great community.
It sure is. And one thing about South Bristol people, really stick together. Very tight people.
Yes.
At least there was when I was down here going to school. And stuff.
Yeah, the time I grew up here, and then even as a young adult and an adult.
People kind of looked at each other down here, the old generation especially.
Yeah. You take after your people in town. I mean, that's a small enough community that everyone looks out for everyone else.
Your summer jobs, probably had many.
Yeah, one of my first, it was Farren Stock. My uncle Junior Farren owned it. And when I wasn't even in high school, I don't believe. And they unloaded fish. They had the gill netters, the draggers, a lot of boats. Clark's Cove Fish is who Buddy House run it.
Yeah.
And I helped lump the boats. I mean, most of the workers were older than me, but we'd work, you know, the boats get in 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You'd work till 4 in the morning loading a tractor
Yep.
trailer truck.
Yep.
And there's a funny story with that. I worked there for a few summers. And then one day I had gotten up 8 o'clock, was walking down the street to go to work. And this guy driving along, I might have had my thumb out or he might have just stopped. I mean, he picked me up to take me to and drop me off at work. So he got talking. I was a pretty proud kid. I work a lot of hours and I was making money and this is great. So I told him all about it. Well, he was with the labor department.
Wow.
So he went and see Buddy, and that was the end of my working long hours at the fish dock.
Buddy, I remember coming down here when I was a freshman in high school, hanging out with some of the South Bristol guys. And,
Yeah.
And your brother Jeff, he was selling periwinkles to Bud.
Yeah.
And Bud was a very good guy, but he actually joined the Navy about the same time my father and the Round Pond boys did. There was like a couple weeks apart.
Yeah.
A little history there, but Bud died young, didn't
Yeah.
he?
He did. He did. He was a great guy.
Yep.
And same thing. Another one of my jobs, we went periwinkling.
Yep.
And after that, clam digging.
Yep.
I mean, you could go work 3 hours and make $30 clamming.
Good
Have
money
the-
back in those days.
Have the rest of the day to go spend it.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yep.
And so and then as I got along to maybe high school, there was a local friend of my father's. They were in the Navy together. And he did a lot of construction and work around town for people. So I worked for him for quite a few years. You know, we'd do anything from roofing, building, junking cars. I mean, he'd do whatever he had to make a day's pay. And
Yep.
usually
Yep.
I was there with him.
Yep. What did you do for fun when you was growing up here?
Oh, we had fun all the time. I mean, we'd, cause I grew up, not, you know, just the other side of the hill here. So,
You're still in the same neighborhood.
yeah, we were out of town now. You know, the kids all lived down street from the school down. Most of the population was down there. So we'd walk, ride our bikes. We even got to the point we had mini bikes. We'd ride them down street and usually push them home because something broke. And, we'd go down. My great grandmother lived right there on the Thompson Inn Road, Grammy Farron. And we'd all gather on the lawn, play red light, kick the can, you name it. Just a lot of kids, 20 or 30 of us. So there was never any lack of stuff to do. As we got older, it would be skating and, winter time you go sledding. We kind of run free. The whole town did, all the kids.
Yeah. What did you do after high school?
No, Benny, no.
After high school, I worked for a couple local contractors, Raymond Poole being one of them, and learned a lot from him in carpentry. I didn't go on to trade school, college or anything. I just, stayed in the workforce. And then I probably wasn't 20 or early 20s. I started working on my own and doing little jobs around town, and then I got kind of a break. Fella in town, he was a selectman at the time, Joe Wilcock. He had worked for a salesman to the Laverdier drugstore chain, and they were growing, and they were expanding fast. So they did a store in Damascotta. So Joe kind of got us the job doing that, and they liked our work, and we eventually did probably 17 stores for them all over New England.
Was that right around 1980, Ken? Late
Yeah,
70s,
early 80s.
Early 80s,
That'd
yeah.
been the early 80s. Yeah. I mean, we went from Damascotta, Fort Kent, Berlin, New Hampshire, Lincoln, New Hampshire, all over the place.
I was in that store quite a few times. Was that still hanging in there in the early 90s, that store?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I was to take a guess, I would say so.
Into the 90s.
Yeah.
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 But, you know, I was gone all the time. We worked away, and I was starting a family, so I kind of got done with that and worked on my building trade right here in town.
Mm-hmm.
Here in New Harbor. I might even ventured around Pond once or twice and built something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even my neck of the woods.
Well, long ways away.
I'm
too.
surprised you didn't stay.
Well, yeah, it was a day trip.
What was the best piece of advice that you ever received?
There were two pieces of advice I got from my father. And one of them was to have a strong work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what you do, just do it well.
Put your heart and soul in it.
And in my opinion, that has paid off. The other one was to be honest. And maybe as a young lad, I wasn't honest once or twice, and he let me know that honesty was a trait that you should carry with you.
I think all of our dads kind of had that.
So from then on, it has worked well with me through my life, is to be honest and transparent.
Yep.
Because you never get backed into a corner. You don't have to worry about, covering something up. Just, you may not want to be honest. It's easier sometimes not to be, but in the long run, it doesn't work.
Especially when you're in business, because those people will be repeat customers.
Yeah.
They'll tell all their friends that you was honest, and it'll just keep going for you.
I have customers in town I've worked for, one family I'm working for right now, building a pretty big house. And I worked for the grandmother, the daughter, and now their children.
Wow, says a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. So I've worked for that family for 40 years.
Yeah, wow. Have you contributed to your community over the years? This is a big one for you.
I have. I mean, early on, I didn't show much interest in it. I just thought towns run themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And
The old generation was running them when we were young.
yes, yeah, it was older people. And, they voted me onto the budget committee one year. So I did that for a couple of years, and, obviously
Got your foot in the door.
started going to the town meetings and getting a feel of how towns were run. And one of the selectmen at the time was getting older, and he dozed off sitting up on stage, during the town meeting. And I thought to myself, maybe it's time for some change. Maybe that we need younger people in there. So I run. And the guy'd been in a long time. I mean, he was well respected, well liked. He did a good job. And I ended up winning that election for a selectman seat.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you knew me as a kid. I was a shy person. But I mean, there again, that's something in life you kind of have to face your fears. I would have never been a public speaker, stand up in front of the whole town. But I was fortunate enough to work with some very good people in the selectman's office.
You had quite a team here for a number of years.
Yes, yeah, and I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah.
And so all told, I was selectman for 12 years. I took a year off, and a lot of the folks said, you need to go back. So I weren't on the ballot. I says, well, if everybody wants me back in there, write me in.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they did, and it was so close. I mean, the other person that was running,
Was he a former selectman once? I won't mention his name.
no, yes.
Yeah.
So I asked him to recount. he won by 1 vote or 2 votes, and he
Wow.
agreed. So they recounted them, and they had thrown 6 or 8 of my votes out because they weren't exactly. It said Mr. Lincoln, not Ken Lincoln, and so they put them in, and it ended up I got voted back in,
Yeah.
and I was up there probably near to another 18 years.
Wow.
And
30 years.
I retired a couple of years ago,
Yeah.
and I enjoy every bit of it.
Was reading a lot about South Bristol selectmen, and they were very old school. Really stretched the money down here. Was smart about spending, and I really liked that. That's the way my town was for a number of years.
Yeah, we were very frugal.
Yes.
I mean, you
Being
didn't,
smart about your money.
you didn't just hand it out.
Yeah.
I mean, and then we were very fortunate. I don't know how many years ago now. It's probably 15 years or better. We had a seasonal resident, a very wealthy woman, and she left this town a lot of money.
Yep.
Which we put a policy in place and invested it with 3 different investment groups, and it really helps the budget in town.
I heard that was very successful, and actually that money grew a lot. But South Bristol people really managed that money well. I mean, they only spent when they really needed something.
Yes.
And from a piece of the school, the kitchen of the school, the salt shed, the landing, it was all spread out. It wasn't spent it all in one year.
No.
And I like the way you guys down here handled all that.
Yeah,
And you was a big part of that, kid.
I mean, over the 30 years, we built a new library. We built a new town hall. We built a community center gymnasium at the schoolhouse.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that was $1 million project in the day, and that was a lot of money. We finally found a place to put a town landing. South Bristol has 26 miles of shoreline, and we did not have a public landing to back a boat into the water.
Was that the old Anthony Euclid
That was
place?
the old Euclid.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
He was a nice man.
He was a great guy. He
Yeah.
was my uncle. There
Oh,
again.
really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, his
Yeah.
wife was a Farron.
I remember him driving the school bus.
Yeah, he was a bus driver. That was
And buying lots.
That was a little bit before my time.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Old Uncle Auntie was a great guy.
Have you had a brush with any famous people
Probably.
that you want to mention? Anyway?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
probably
how-
got some customers that's probably famous.
Well, a lot of activity at the Ice House through the years.
Yeah.
We've had the guy that he's still the host of This Old House, and I mean, there's been numerous shows or episodes done on the ice harvesting. That, I mean, Bill Green's Maine did it. Steve Minnick. I mean, real famous people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Ain't famous.
Yeah, I did a podcast, I guess you call it, with Bill Bradley, the basketball star.
Wow, really?
He now does a podcast about different people, and
Yeah.
he contacted me basically on, I guess it started with the ice harvest, and then what I did for business, how the trade has changed,
Mhm.
and that was interesting.
Was it Bill Bradley, or am I thinking of somebody else? Was he into politics too for a while?
Yes, yeah. He
thought
was
he
a
was.
basketball star, and then he was in politics.
Yes.
Now he does this podcast,
Yeah.
which he's still doing, I believe.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
Very good.
yeah. And I've been accused of looking like Sam Elliott. I don't know.
I even called you that on the phone just to steer you up a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe more so a few years ago. but-
What was the thing you learned growing up has the most help prepared you for life?
I think I kind of got to go back to with what my father taught me as a young man. The work ethic and the transparency and honesty thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that has helped me in all aspects of my life, from my business to, being a selectman and around a lot of people. I mean, you don't politics is, a strange thing. You're going to make some people happy. You're going to upset some people. So I always figured if I had 51% of the people happy, I had done my job.
Yeah.
So I think them two traits are probably what, two of the things that have carried me to this point. And I still go by them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For every one person you make happy, you hope you don't piss two off.
Well, and you probably might, but
Yes.
you got to just brush it off your
Stand
shoulder.
your ground and fight for what you believe in.
Brush it off your shoulder and go along.
Yeah. Yeah. What is the secret to a happy life, Ken?
Well, we'll start with the major thing: happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
But do what you like. Hopefully you enjoy your work because you spend a good part of your life working.
Mm-hmm.
And take time. It's hard for me to do sometimes. I tend to work too much. But take time to do things, see things.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, go, even just this country, this state, there's so much here. And them are memories that you carry with you the rest of your life.
Yep.
It's not the new truck or the camp in the woods, it's things that you do,
Yep.
memories you have.
Working hard, I get the feeling you and me got a lot in common with that. Working hard to me, and I'm sure it is to you, is like therapy in a way.
Oh, there's no question. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. My body might disagree with me a little bit.
As we get older.
But other than that, yeah.
Well, Ken, what would you like to be remembered for? There's probably many things there.
I guess probably the most important thing would people remember you as being a good person. A hard worker, an honest person. Someone that contributes to the community. Because community don't just do it themselves. If everybody just gives a little bit and helps out, your community runs really well.
Mm-hmm.
But volunteerism, I've seen kind of slide off. People don't give time, and maybe they can't afford it. It takes both parents working to get by.
Well, the world is moving a little faster these days, too.
It is. Yeah, I sometimes wonder if I was born 200 years too late.
Yeah, I had that feeling once in a while. Maybe 40 or 50. Anyway.
Yeah. We got to go with it. It's here.
What piece of advice would you like for the next generation? What would it be?
Be honest to yourself and be good to other people. That's, if you can do that, enjoy what you do, enjoy your life. This isn't a trial run.
Yeah.
So.
Reach out to people and be very respectful.
Yes, yeah, respect other people's opinions. We all didn't come out of the same mold, but we are all people.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to respect people for what they are.
What's the biggest change you have ever faced?
Challenge.
Challenge, excuse me.
The biggest challenge, probably early on in my career, you really had to be diversified to stay busy.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't just pick what you wanted to do. You crawled under buildings and jacked them up. You shingled roofs. You repaired docks. The early years of me being self-employed, we would do whatever came along. And, that got challenging during the winter. I went shrimp dragging 2 winters because I didn't have work through the winter.
Was that what Albert thought?
No, I went with Eddie Gastaldo.
Okay, yep.
2 winters, and I enjoyed that.
Yep.
offshore fishing. But that was probably my most challenging time, I think.
What did you preserve and how did you help others
Well,
through? Have I got that right?
Persevere.
Persevere.
I guess what I'm
okay.
looking for
I need a
is
reading
that,
lesson.
is that Ken, you've had such an amazing life, really, here.
Yeah.
And you've done such wonderful things. You wonderful wife, household, and family. But sometimes these are the challenges that we have are like health-wise, things like that. That's how have you reached out to others to help them with those challenges that you've had, and you know, and it's not health wise, or it just might be you know, if I'm making myself understood, I'm not sure, but
Yeah. I mean, I've always, I guess, had a soft spot for the underdog. People that might not have fit in. You know, the kid that was picked on because they didn't look right. You know, even working away, back to the Laverdier drugstores, I remember an incident. We were in a restaurant or a bar, it might have been a bar, and it was in a college town. It was Plymouth, New Hampshire. And there was a special needs girl. And these athletes from the college were really giving her a hard time. And here I am in a strange place. I don't know any of these people. And I got up and went over and asked them to, you know, stop. Don't do this to her. And, you know, they went the typical route you would think college age drinking boys would do. They wanted to get physical, and I walked away from it. But it really bothers me when I see people picking on somebody that might be a little different, you know, a little challenged or whatever it might be. And I think to help other people understand that is a great thing to do.
absolutely, yeah.
And I haven't personally really had any real strong challenges physically in my life. Maybe mentally, who knows, but I think, you know, just to be kind to everybody around you. I mean, excuse my language, don't be an ass. You know?
Exactly.
Well, I learned something today. As long as I've known you, that's got to be the first time I've ever known you to walk away from anything, because you're usually right up the front lines of years ago.
Well, as a young man, I might have, we might have gotten into a few scraps here or there. Yeah, you know, you were right there with me, Frank.
Yeah, a couple times. Things
Yeah.
got a little hairy there at times.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
But you has always been a stand-up guy, no matter what.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, well respected for me.
Yeah, well, thank you.
I don't hand that out to just any of
No,
you.
I don't see you as handing anything out that isn't
You
deserved.
want my respect,
That's
you
for
better earn
sure. Yeah. Yeah,
it. And you far past that.
yeah,
You've come a long ways, Ken.
yeah. I mean, one of my, well, maybe you've got it on your next question.
Well, let's see. I'm running out of these. I got to get into the bullpen and get Russ to come out to mound and throw a few pitches. Let's see. Where was I? Where? If you were leaving, if you was given this interview, Ken, today, what questions would you ask yourself?
What possessed me to want to be in a public seat for 30 years? Because I sometimes sit back and ask myself, you know, why did you do that for that long? And it didn't seem like a long time. It went really fast.
Yeah.
you know, and a lot of people have asked, especially my generation, or some behind my generation, you know, why would you put yourself through that? But it wasn't really putting myself through it. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed doing it. Uh, I've been involved with the Thompson Ice House I'm the president now, and I've been on that pond probably since I was 11 years old.
Yeah. Have you been the president for a while? You've been
I've
involved in that for
probably
way
been
back.
president for 20 years,
Yeah. Yeah.
probably close to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was on the board of directors before that.
How big's the directors? Is that many people down here now?
It's right around 7 to 9 most of the time.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's something I've got involved with very young commercially, with going back to this John Bartlett, who I worked for in high school. He harvested ice and sold it commercially to the fishing boats, the offshore fishing boats, and it was somewhat lucrative, I guess, if you didn't mind working physically hard.
Yeah.
So he left town, moved to the West Coast, so I decided, well, I guess I better take it over.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to one of the local fishermen, because I didn't have the money to pay a crew to fill the ice house. So he co-signed a loan for me. I think it was $1,500, so I could do an ice harvest. That was 1983. So I did it that year, and then I did it the next year. And I realized that it was not a lucrative business. It was getting in the way of my construction business. So I give it up in '84.
Yeah.
The ice house basically sat empty for close to 10 years.
Yeah. It's been more like a hobby to you than a business, hasn't it?
Yes, and so
Keeping it going.
so
Traditional.
once the Ice House Preservation Corporation had the property, Edgar Thompson deeded it to the corporation, and they had it rebuilt, you know, a smaller version, and
Is that a national historical?
it is.
Yeah.
It is. So they come to me and ask me if I would direct an ice harvest. Well, directing it, basically getting all my family and friends together to help do it the way we did it in the 80s and earlier than that. So I directed it for a couple of years. That was early 90s. And then they asked me to come on the board as a director, so I did that. And it's something I have a strong passion and interest in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a piece of history that, it's a working history. I mean, you do it. You know, you don't look at a book, or you don't look at the pictures. You actually physically get involved in doing it. And it's turned into a pretty big event for the town of South Bristol.
Yeah. What do you get for attendance there? It must be hundreds now.
I would say the harvest, we get 600 to 800 people.
Wow.
And we do another fundraiser in the summer that is like an ice cream social, and that gets as many, if not more.
Is that, do you get national press with
Yes.
that?
Yes, we have.
Yeah.
You know, as I've said, the History Channel, public television. It's a bunch. National Geographic.
Wow. You got some big
Yeah,
names there.
yeah, and it's.
Wow. I didn't realize that.
I've had people call from Europe.
Wow.
It's on my bucket list. Can I come over and go to you know, do this ice harvest?
Yeah.
Last year, a fellow from Quebec.
Yeah.
That's something I've always wanted to do.
You're getting worldwide coverage here.
It gets a lot of coverage.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting tradition
Mhm.
that personally I think needs to be carried on.
Yeah. Got the Owl's Head.
The Owl's
Head's coming
Transportation Museum
Yeah.
has got involved with us the last probably 5 years.
Mhm.
And great bunch of guys. They
Yeah.
actually took a mechanical saw last year and redid it completely. So, you know, that's the backbone of what we do, so that was great. And, you know, I guess I'm somewhat of a traditionalist. Me and my younger brother Todd about 18 years ago. I don't know if you remember Henry Jones's smokehouse,
Yep.
set down by the bridge.
He's a legend.
Yeah, yeah.
South Bristol legend.
Yeah, and so when the state redid the bridge years ago, they moved the smokehouse out of there. It was on the state right of way. Well, it ended up being moved up on the S Road to a guy's house. And then they give it to the Historic Society. They moved it by the S Road School down here. So me and Todd had been smoking, brining and smoking herring every fall for like 18 years.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't smoked a fish in 4 years. Can't get them.
Yep.
The quota, they've set the quota so low, they catch all the fish early in the summer. By the time, you know, it's cool enough to smoke,
Yep.
we can't get any.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, that's a tradition that we were trying to keep alive, and you know, it's out of our hands.
Are you part of the South? Is this kind of tied in with the South Bristol Historical? Like
The
Kathy
smokehouse
Norwood
is.
is a big
Yeah,
part of that.
yeah.
Nice lady.
Kathy was great.
Super nice
I
lady.
sat down with her many times.
Yeah.
Did some work for her, and yeah, the woman was just.
I used to bump into her up to McDonald's.
Yeah.
And she would always try to buy me something to eat there.
Oh, she was a sweetheart.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed hanging out with her.
Well, she had a lot of history.
Yeah. And she
Yeah.
she was into it so big.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, the smokehouse is the Historic Society. We basically, when we smoked the fish, we give them away for donations to the Historic Society.
Hmm.
And
Was you a big part of like the town anniversary a few years back, where they had like a parade in South Bristol?
yes, we were.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a pretty big event.
I know Dave Rice was talking to me about it. I don't know if he was a part of that, but he definitely was letting people know that event was coming.
That was, I must say, a huge success.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing went really well.
Did you get some big press coverage out of that?
Just the local,
Yeah.
but I mean, yeah, I mean, 100 years.
Mm-hmm.
100 years ago, we got away from you guys over there.
We'd like to have you back.
I bet you would.
Yeah, the way you guys stretch your dollars, we'd like to have you part of Bristol
Well,
again.
if you had a built
We need you guys over there to help us out a little bit.
if you had a built us new boardwalks down street, we'd still be with you.
Yeah. Wow. Speaking of politics, well, this interview isn't really about me, but I gotta throw my 2 cents worth in. I always voted for the time I was 18 years old.
Yeah.
I was always busy and never got mixed up into the town politics other than my voting.
Mm-hmm.
And in the last few years, I got mixed up into Bristol politics. You know, I'll be a member of the planning board now, which
Yeah.
whoever would have thought that. But I didn't really like the way my town was going. That's the biggest reason why I got mixed up into my hometown politics.
Well,
'cause I didn't like where they were taking my town.
And that's what you have to do.
Yep.
I mean, you got to get involved.
Yep.
You can't sit back and complain. I used to tell people they'd complain about what took place at the town meeting and this and that, and I'd look right at them and say, I don't recall seeing your face at town meeting.
Well, that's the biggest
So-
part that we're dealing with over there in Bristol. We got people with no roots that ain't from here
Yeah.
getting mixed up in things, and they don't. I feel they're nice people. A lot of them. I don't want to.
Categorize them.
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't want to throw sticks at them too bad, because there's a lot of nice people that's
there
moved to
are.
Bristol that I'm glad it's moved here.
Yeah.
I just don't want them taking my town down the road at the environment that they came from. Lots of regulations, bigger taxes,
Well-
and being controlled.
And you do see that.
Yeah,
And I don't know.
I try to back them off in a nice way.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, Frank, it's called progress and change.
Change. That's what a guy told me. That was, I like the man, but him and me are not on the same page of Bristol politics.
Yeah.
He's from away. He has no roots there. And I like him. He's actually a very nice guy.
Yeah.
And he says, times have changed, Frank.
Yes.
And I looked at him and I says, maybe they've changed, but I haven't. I'm still old school man.
Well, and you don't have to change.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
No, but it's and that was part.
So you've had to deal with it.
Well, that was part of my going back to my first getting involved in town politics was you got to have growth. And
Yes.
the board at the time was pretty much dead set against any progress, any growth. And you got to have growth or your town's going to die.
After they got what they want.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I was like, we need someone in there that can see. I mean, the town has to move forward.
Yeah.
You can't hide in the past because you'll stagnate and die. And so one of my things was to, promote that. I mean, not grandiose. Well, to be honest with you, not with what's happening to the town today.
Yeah.
I mean, we have been discovered.
Yes.
We
All of Maine has been
Yeah,
discovered.
we have a lot of money, big money. I mean, it used to be millionaires. Now it's billionaires.
Yes.
And
We're dealing with the same thing, Ken.
they're building 10, 11, 20 million dollar houses. And, when I was growing up as a teenager, you'd go to Christmas Cove, and most of it was, or a lot of it, was school teachers and ministers.
Mm-hmm.
They'd come in on steamships and spend their summers and they were cottages.
Mm-hmm.
Open starred, uninsulated, probably no heat systems, most of them. Cottages.
Mm-hmm.
And where, through my 40 plus years of being a builder, we've torn a lot of them down and replaced them with very nice houses.
Mm-hmm.
And now them very nice houses are being torn down and building these super houses.
I can remember one of the high-end carpenters of Bristol building a fancy house on the shore back in the early 80s.
Yeah.
And I remember him saying, geez, somebody came in there and bought that house. It wasn't all that old. They flattened it and put
Oh yeah.
a ungodly,
Yeah.
big, expensive place. in there.
I've torn many structures down,
Mm-hmm.
and I tear them apart piece by piece and repurpose most of them. I mean, I've built a camp, a couple hours inland on a little pond, all out of repurposed lumber. That garage out here is, used one. My barn, people throw a lot of stuff away. And
Mhm.
today, they bring excavators in.
Yep.
And they crunch them up, throw them in a dumpster, and they're gone in a day. But I'm old school on that. And
Yep.
so I got a barn full of stuff, a couple other buildings, which I got to get rid of.
Couple of nice looking buildings out there, I might say.
And they're right full of stuff. So,
Yeah, you can't get one big enough.
no.
Yes, and I can remember when they were probably in the late 70s, early 80s, when they were building a $150,000 home.
Yeah.
And we thought that was astronomical back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And now the project I'm working on right now is probably a $2.5 million house.
Yep.
I tore down a nice old log cabin that was on the lot and
Did you save some of that?
repurposed a lot of
Yeah.
that. I got a couple rental cabins up here in the woods I'm going to start Airbnb next year.
Yeah.
And they're built out of repurposed lumber.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to stop because I got no more room. And I don't want to build any more buildings.
So I guess that's about it.
Russ, you got a few things you want to throw in there?
I've got to find out what you're talking about when you say that we did let you have boardwalks or
Yes.
what was that about?
Yes. Through the history that I hear from the elders who are gone now, that basically one of the reasons was they wouldn't put any money into, I think it was the school up by the golf course
Yeah.
needed work, and the selectman at the time of Bristol, which was us, wouldn't put money into that, and we had boardwalks down street so you didn't walk in the mud. The roads were dirt, and you walked on boardwalks. Downtown, it was actually a town. There was a bowling alley and, you know, stores, and so they got mad about that. And it was the original 3 selectmen. One was a Wells. One was actually a relative of my grandmother's, Burris. And who was the third one? Maybe a Woodard. And so they had to go to the legislature twice. They denied it the first time, us breaking off of Bristol and becoming our own municipality. But the second time they passed it.
And what was the time when that
They started that process probably around 1912 or 13, and we incorporated it into a town in 1915.
Okay. Wells, huh?
Yeah, there's a picture at the town hall of the original 3. It was a Wells, I believe a Burris, and I should remember the third one. It might have been a Woodard.
Yeah, I've got to check that out. My great-great-grandfather was Ebenezer Wells, and
Really?
yeah, and Marshall Wells, and the whole Wellses on the.
Geez,
Yeah,
you
so-
two might be related.
No, I'm not related to the Wells.
You know,
No, no.
you're related to me.
We don't have to tell everybody that,
Yeah.
right?
No one wants to know that.
Oh,
Frank.
yeah. So
I mean,
I'm gonna give him a bad reputation by hanging out there.
Now, fortunately, my father come from down towards Eastport, Robertson, a little town down on Boyden Lake.
You've been down in there looking
We-
around?
We go there a lot. We still own. The family owns like 60 acres.
Wow.
That
Is
my
that
gr-
yours now?
It's yeah. We're gonna pass it on to the children.
Yep.
And put it in the trust. But we generally get down there once or twice a year. My uncle lived down there on the reservation. He's past McQuarrie.
Do you have a camper? You bring a
Yeah,
camper
but we
down?
don't use it anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I remember early childhood memories. I wasn't very old, maybe 4 or 5 years old, and you know, it's a 4 or 5 hour ride from here to Robinson. And my grandmother at the time had an old cape that burnt down a few years later. But one of my younger memories is me and I think my older brother Jeffrey and my older sister Amy. We were down there, and you know, it was time for us to go to bed, so they sent us upstairs in this cape. And there was no electricity, no light, so we crawled under the covers, and I thought it was a little funny heavy, the cover. Well, so the next morning we wake up and it's a bear hide.
Oh, wow.
I mean, because, you know, she was an avid hunter and
Yeah.
there were a lot of bears, and it was a warm blanket.
Yeah.
But, so, yeah, my father ended up down here. He was based in Brunswick in the Navy.
That's how you met your mom.
Yeah, him and this John Bartlett. Yeah, they were actually headed for Southport Island.
Mm-hmm.
And they took the wrong turn and ended up in South Bristol.
Yeah.
A damn good thing, I'd say.
The right
yeah.
turn, I would say. The right turn. Thanks an awful lot, Ken. This has been
Well,
wonderful.
it's been a good ride. I think we've all had
Good life.
a pretty good trip
Yeah.
through so far.
I've told a lot of people if I die tomorrow, I've had a great life.
Yeah. Well, I hope you don't.
Me neither.
I like to think we hang around.
Thank you
for a
very much,
while.
Ken. I really appreciate
Well,
coming
thank
down
you
here.
guys.
Yeah.
I hope you got something a little bit